to be here. I love Moj, I love Beautycon, I love all of you here, and I love my guest for this fireside chat. She's a Grammy Award winner, she's an entrepreneur, she's a CEO, she's a philanthropist, she's a wife, she's a mother, she is Ciara.
Hey, everybody. I love you back, whoever screamed that. I love you too, girl. Hey, girl. Oh, I love you too. I love all of you guys.
So, as I was telling you backstage, I'm thrilled to be here with you. And I want to start with the challenge that you issued to your fans and to the world when you launched your album, your song, Level Up. So, you asked everyone to level up in 3 ways. So I want to start by asking you, what are you leveling up right now?
Well, that is a good question because with Level Up, my philosophy is that at every stage and level of your life, there is always another opportunity to level up. And I am constantly talking with myself, trying to figure out how to get better. And what I'm trying to work on now is a little less of the internet. I love, going on Instagram, searching, and before you know it, an hour's pass by, and you're like, I could be spending my time in my life way better than being online for a whole hour. So I'm trying to work on that, a little less internet. I want to work on reading more. And self-care. I think self-care is really important, is, me just making sure I'm always taking care of myself. And when I put out Level Up, I talked about different ways to level up, and one of those ways was to love yourself. And I always talk about this because there's a power to loving yourself and taking care of yourself and making sure that you're putting yourself first, because I really do believe if you love yourself and you're good with yourself, then you can love others you can love others the right way, and vice versa. You will know the love that you deserve. So I'm just always trying to make sure I'm loving myself and taking care of me and making sure I'm keeping myself sexy. I'm married now. I got 2 kids, and so I really believe that we can do it all as women, and I got to make sure I'm staying on top of my A game for myself. It's my own self-satisfaction, it's my own self-satisfaction by taking care of myself. And so those are ways that I'm working on leveling up is, loving myself, a little less internet, and trying to read more.
I love that. So, as you are all listening to Ciara, please start thinking of 3 ways you want to level up and share them with us. #LevelUp.
Yes.
And as I was talking to Ciara backstage, we both agree that often what stops us from leveling up is our own negative self-talk.
Yes.
It's the things we say to ourselves about ourselves, the doubts, the self-judgments.
Yes.
I call it the obnoxious roommate living in my head. So how
yes.
do...
You are your greatest obstacle.
Yes.
I really do believe that. Sorry,
so how do you deal with your obnoxious roommate?
Oh,
how do you silence her?
I gotta stay committed, to what I'm trying to, I think it's like knowing that the gift is in you, and sometimes your mind can create this negative thought, and you forget that, hey, the gift is in me. What's for me is gonna be for me, and I've gotta stay focused on that. And it is natural to doubt yourself. I think that's just how life goes, but you gotta stay committed to your vision. You gotta stay committed to, I feel like if I don't use my gifts and I'm abusing them and I'm not appreciative of what God has given me, and so I stay committed to the gifts that I have. I'm like, I have to make sure I am utilizing every special thing that's within me, and so I stay committed to that. Yeah.
And you talked earlier about starting with yourself. On aeroplanes they say, put your own oxygen mask on first. So let me ask you about some specific things that might help everyone here. Sleep.
Yes.
How many hours do you need? How many hours do you get? I gave you backstage my book on sleep for
Yep.
your husband, Russell. So tell us about sleep.
Sleep. I have come to finally learn and understand, at least I believe that sleep is necessary. I am a grinder, and I've been a woman of ambition on a mission for a long time in my life. And I was that person that would stay up really late. And now that I have kids, it's like sleep is just crazy town. So, I try to make sure I maximize the time to sleep. And I've realized, I don't know about, I know everybody may have different thoughts on it, but whenever I get enough rest, like a good 6 hours, I feel like I kind of have a good vitamin to go for the day, and my brain just functions way better. When I haven't had as much sleep, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to myself, get it together, get it together, get it. I literally have to have self-talks. And so I do really believe that sleep is vital. And especially when you have kids that they're your alarm clock. So you can be thinking you went to sleep at 12 and you're hoping to get to 8, and it's like Future and Sienna wants to wake up at 6 a.m. and 6:30. I'm like, really? Like right now, really? I want to get my extra 2 hours and I can't get my 2 hours, That's a real thing. So I try to now, when I have the chance to, I'm hitting that bed early and I'm getting that rest because my mind just functions way better. So I am a believer in sleeping. I am.
And you are the best version of yourself.
Yes.
And let me ask you an intimate question. Do you sleep with your phone?
I don't. I do. So this is what I do. I don't sleep with my phone to answer it, but by convenience, my phone is under my pillow.
Ciara?
But it's not to answer it. It's weird because it's the habit that when I get up and the alarm clock goes off, I'm not trying to be. I just feel like on the pillow, there's my phone right there. So it's annoying to be. But I honestly don't sleep with my. I don't sleep with my phones to look out, for a call. My rule is that when I go to sleep, I go to sleep. I used to be the person that emails and calls ran my life. I used to be the one that I felt like I had to answer every email when it came through. I had to answer every call when it came through. And I've realized that those moments can wait. 1 hour is not going to kill me. Whoever's trying to reach me, they'll be okay. I'll get back to them in an hour if that's going to give me more peace of mind. And I want to go backwards to the question you asked me about the voice in my head, because I was trying to think about what I wanted to say. And I'm really a believer that whenever you talk and you project things in the universe, whenever you speak, you have a chance to tell your life story. So when you speak, say great things. Declare great things about your life, because that is a real thing. And I had to say that because there is a power to negativity. There's a power of saying, I can't do this and I can't be that. If you say you can't, then you won't. If you say you're not, then you ain't, or you aren't. So that is a real thing, and I've had to instill that within me because oftentimes in my world, I've heard no more than I've heard yes with things that I wanted to do. And so if I didn't believe in myself and if I couldn't dig deep and find that will and courage to persevere, then I wouldn't be sitting here today. So I had to always speak positive things because oftentimes in this world we live in, people throw a lot of negativity at you. Especially on social media. It's like, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Why is she wearing that? She should be wearing that. Her hair ain't looking right. There's all these different comments, and if I let just 3 comments affect me, my world will be ruined. It's almost like, how you can see 10 great comments and then 1 negative comment come in, and you're like, they done messed up my whole vibe. That kind of thing. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm not going to let your words defeat me. Like, I am what I believe I am. I am who I know I am. And you know who I am too, but you just got a little negativity in you, and I'm going to let you have that. But there's the power of declaring great things in your life. And for me, that has worked, especially when I've been in the toughest times of my life. When I declared what I wanted from my life, whether it was I was hurting and I was crying, but I was declaring in the same breath of tears, I was declaring greatness in my life. I was declaring I was going to get through that scenario, whether it was work or whether it was personal. There was a power to me declaring that I was going to be all right, or everything is going to be just fine and I will be great. So I wanted to say that because it's important to me to share that with you guys, that I really believe that when you speak, you have the chance to tell and create your life story. So when you speak, say great things. So I wanted to say that.
So when we speak to ourselves, let's say kind, great, affirming things about ourselves. And Moj and I came up with this idea of makeup meditations.
Okay.
Everybody who is here loves makeup.
Yep.
Great.
We like getting cute.
You like being beautiful, but also how about tapping into our inner beauty?
Absolutely.
And inner strength and inner confidence.
Yes.
And we can do it through habit stacking. While we're putting on our makeup,
Yep.
let's say an affirmation. Let's say something great that we want to declare.
Right.
And when we're taking off our makeup, let's say at night, let's remember 3 things we are grateful for.
Absolutely.
Isn't that great?
Well, I think so, and I think it's the idea of you wear the makeup doesn't wear you. And I had to really grasp that idea. I kind of figured it out a little bit later in life because I loved getting glammed up and I liked who I was with the makeup. I like getting my makeup done. Like, I can't lie. I'm like, I wish I could wake up every day in this makeup that my makeup Yolanda does, but that's not realistic. And so for me, I'm like, I've got to start feeling good about who I am before any brush is painted on my face. Like, she's like, yeah, she's so sweet. But I've got to feel good about me, right? So then I'm empowered because of that, because I'm like, I can be stripped down at home and extensionless and feel like I'm still fly. You know, I'm still cute. You know, that's the attitude you want to have. And I had to work on that, to be very honest, because before I was an entertainer, I was this little girl from Decatur, Georgia, and I didn't get glammed up every day. But when I started getting glammed up, I really liked that glam version of me. But I had to like be real with myself. And when you have kids, you don't have time to get super glammed up anyway. So I've got to feel good about who I am when I'm stripped down and it's raw and it's simple. And I will say my confidence got much better when I understood that. When I understood that I wear the makeup, but the makeup doesn't wear me. And, you know, it's my moment to kind of, you know, have a little fun. Date night, I want to get cute. Red carpets, I love getting glammed up. But I like who I am with no makeup, too. And that discovery was game-changing for me. All of us have our own uniqueness. And you are uniquely you. And everyone in this room is beautiful. And I will say the beauty has to come from within, you know. You can be, you know, it's like you meet that person that's so beautiful on the outside, but she's so mean on the inside. It's like, you ain't cute at all. Like, you know, I don't ever want to have that attitude or be that person. So I do really believe that beauty, you know, has to come from within. And then you get to have fun. Put your lashes on, you get your eyeliner. That's fun stuff. But beauty has to come from within, right? It's so much cooler. I'm trying to find the best way to say it, but it's so much cooler when you meet someone that's really pretty or attractive and they're super cool, right? That's the true beauty. It's what's coming from the inside that's exuding on the outside.
I so love that, and I'm so excited to see these young girls in the front row eating up every word that Ciara says, because you're going to take these messages home and build your great life, and like Ciara, glow from the inside out. The glam is great, but if you don't radiate and glow from the inside out, it doesn't work.
It's not hot.
So, you know, I wrote down a few affirmations based on things you've said and things you believe.
Okay.
And I want to sort of tell them here to everybody, see what you think. So,
sounds good.
One is, today, you can say that tomorrow morning when you start your day, when you start putting your makeup on. Today, I'm going to do one thing to level up and improve my life.
What I'm going to do today to level up and improve my life, when I'm putting my makeup on, or I'm saying, that's what I was saying in the morning. The saying is what I'm going to do today, but tomorrow. In the morning, I'm going to wake up. Gosh, what is happening tomorrow? What am I doing on my schedule? What am I doing?
I have one idea.
I think for me is when I'm waking up and getting ready for the world, my mission is to impact. That's my mission. My mission is to impact someone's life. And it can be something as simple, too, as like letting someone know that they matter. It can be something as simple as opening the door for an elderly person or stopping and helping someone that needs help. For me, I love those moments. They make me feel like I'm really doing something in life. So yeah, I would say I'm going to wake up today. And you're saying, I'm going to wake up today and impact someone's life.
This is beautiful. I'm going to say the same thing when I wake up tomorrow.
Yes.
And let's all say the same thing, because if we wake up and impact someone's life, it could be we are getting a cup of coffee and we smile and make conversation with the barista.
Absolutely.
It can be anything, however
You know what
small.
else? It can be, I like saying this in a room where there's a lot of people. It can also be the idea of, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to forgive today. Right? I know someone needed to hear that, because I'm a believer in not having spiritual debt. And that's where you have the heaviness of someone may have made you mad and you don't like them anymore. You don't think you like them anymore. You don't care for them. And they could be the meanest person. But I really believe to release and have your life as fruitful and as vibrant as it can be, you got to have the spirit of forgiveness. Right? That's a real thing, right? The spirit of forgiveness, I think, is how you not only, you change your life like dramatically by having a forgiving spirit. And there's nothing better than knowing. It's like, I don't know so much about keep your enemies closer line. I don't want to be like play a game with it. But you just feel so much better when someone may have done or caused you harm, and you can still smile at them and you can still feel good with yourself. Right? She said, preach. Well, that's a real thing, right? So I will say I feel like I'm pretty debt-free spiritually in my life right now, but I had to make a commitment to that. And I just wanted to share that because that came to my mind, because I feel like someone needed to hear that, just to let go. Maybe hugging that person that may have hurt you can not only help their lives. Sometimes people project what's going on in their lives on you, and they actually need love, right? So I just wanted to share that as well.
I absolutely love that. And also, waking up and not comparing ourselves, not looking at somebody's Instagram and feeling we're not as thin or as rich as anything.
Yeah.
Because we're unique.
You're uniquely you. God made every part of you uniquely you, the color of your hair. Now, don't get me wrong, I like to play around with extensions. I like to do hair coloring and all that stuff, but at the core, you are uniquely you. And I think it's so important that rather than comparing yourself, taking the time to look at yourself and pause and say, okay, I am uniquely me. That's right. She's like, she's so cute. I love when I see little girls like you having that expression right now. I love it. Take it all in. But, I do believe in, you taking a moment to think about what you have. I used to be really insecure about being tall and skinny and muscular, but I realized that's not going to change. So am I going to go my whole life walking over with a hunchback, feeling not good about myself? No, I'm going to embrace everything that God made me, made of me, how he made me, because I'm uniquely me, right? So it's don't try to, comparing, you'll spend time, you'll waste time in life comparing, but it's about taking the moment to pause and taking who you are and say, everything from your toe. I have a short pinky toe that, they like to get on me on Instagram all the time, and I'm uniquely me, okay? So, but having that attitude, is a real thing, right? Embracing who you are, because some things we can't change, but we can't go through life being down. We can't go through life, finding the negative. Find ways to turn those negatives into positives and celebrating who you uniquely are.
I absolutely love that. So what I'm going to do tomorrow morning is I'm going to put all these affirmations, all these mantras, all this wisdom that you've been preaching, Ciara, and put them on my Instagram. And it's Arianna Huff, Huff. And then maybe you can put them on yours. I forgive someone today. I'm not comparing myself because I'm unique. This is amazing wisdom, and it can change our day and our life.
Change your life. Absolutely.
We're unfortunately coming to the end, and I want to go to the audience for a few questions. But I have one more last question for Ciara, and then we're definitely coming to you, you adorable little girls in the front row. So my last question for you is, in 2015, you put out an album called Jackie.
Yes.
That was your mother's name.
Yes, it was.
And I have this very deep connection with my mother. You know, we grew up in a one-room apartment in Athens, Greece, but she believed in me, and she believed that we are bigger than our circumstances.
Absolutely.
And she said one thing that resonates with a lot of what you said. She said, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a stepping stone to success.
It's a part of it. Absolutely. What I always say, and what I was excited about with my company, Beauty Marks, the idea behind Beauty Marks is all the scars you get from the obstacles you face in life are actually your beauty marks. All the scars you get from the obstacles you face in life are actually your beauty marks. So when you're going through those tough times, whether it's in business, whether it's in a relationship, embrace those moments, run towards those moments. Those moments will build character. They are part of your identity. They will give you strength in ways that you couldn't even imagine, that you're able to use it and be empowered by your experiences to make your next move your best move and to essentially level up, right? So embrace those moments. When times are tough, embrace those moments. They're happening for a reason.
Tell everyone how you define success.
Success for me used to be defined way differently when I was a little girl starting out, and I had this big dream, and I said, I want to be a billionaire one day. And I said I wanted to sell all these records, and I want to get all these awards. But as I've gone through life, success, the definition of success is different. And for me, it is simply having happiness and knowing who I am, because if I have happiness and I know who I am, all those other things are possible. And so my focus has changed. It's really coming more inward than the outward things, right? So for me, I work in an industry called the music entertainment industry, and I love what I do, and I love being successful at what I do. But what I learned along the way and through the hard times is that I also really love something that will never love me back the way that I love it. This industry will roll with you when it's good, and when it's bad, they will leave you hanging. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to be defined by all that. My definition of success is going to be me knowing who I am and being happy with myself and where I am at that very moment, because there's this philosophy of what good is it to gain the world and lose your soul. I am terrified of losing my soul. I am terrified of not knowing who I am. You see so many people that are at the highest height, have all the money in the world, but don't know who they are and aren't happy. So I've changed the definition of success, and success is me knowing who I am and being happy with who I am and where I am in my life.
Amazing. I so love that, and it's a message our world needs to hear right now, and I'm so grateful that you are preaching it with all your power and all your charisma. So, your turn to ask a question. Let's get a mic here. And give us your name and how old you are.
Okay, I'm Alex, I'm 13, and my question is, as a 13-year-old, I have a lot of way to go. As an adult, I'm going to cry. As an adult, and how can I level up?
Well, firstly, you have a great idea by saying I have a long way to go, because when I was 13, I was like ambitious and like ready for the next step. So I think firstly, you have that understanding that, patience is so important. When I was 13, like I said, I was like moving so fast. When, 14 years old, my career started. So it's like, just everything going so fast. But patience is so important. I think it's hard for us to embrace that concept, especially when we're young, But I also want to encourage you to be your own clique. And I'm saying that because 13 years old, I was a ninth grader in high school, and that's when it got interesting because there's a lot of cliques in school, and sometimes you feel like the pressure to conform to what everybody else is doing or to fit in, and never ever put that pressure on yourself or let anybody put that pressure on you. You be your own clique. Yeah?
Who has another question? Here, yes, and
Hello.
let's get a mic over there in the first row on the right, and again, tell us your name.
Okay, first and foremost.
Listen, why don't you can ask your question and I'll repeat it.
Okay, my name is Ciara. I'm from the Bay Area in California.
Hey. What it do?
All right, so listening to you, other than your, you saying your first thought is to impact the world every day you wake up, can you go ahead and share with all of us what was that prayer that you gave to God? So,
This is so funny, this question. Well, what I say is there's not one specific prayer. There is a moment where I was going through a tough moment, and that was when I was a single mom. I was freshly a single mom and trying to figure out life, and I was very specific at that moment because I didn't like the feeling of what I was feeling. But I will tell you, I have prayed many a times in my life when I've gone through tough moments, and it has always worked for me. And I do believe in the power of prayer, and I also believe in being specific when you pray. You got to be intentional when you pray. You got to be clear when you pray, or clairvoyant. So I just want to encourage everyone here that, if you believe in praying and you are going to do it, be specific, be intentional. Ask and ye shall receive, right? That is a real thing, and I've learned that, and I've had to cry some moments, and not think it's going to get better on the other side, but I had faith, and that faith pulled me through, and it's never failed me. And prayer does work. Prayer changes. Prayer heals. Prayer is real.
And also remember to pray for the highest good, because sometimes we pray for something and we may not get it because there's something better
Absolutely
waiting for us.
Now that is true. You can be praying for what you think is right and you don't get what you think is right, and that was for a reason. So you got to trust that too.
Great.